And there's always trends that change, and sometimes it's so hard to separate fact from fiction. That's what I wanted to say. So with new nutrition information out there every day, we decided to get clear on the rules of dieting. Jackie London is a nutrition director for Good Housekeeping Institute, and she is here to set the record straight. Jackie, good morning, and so nice to have you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You really are the expert on this, and so there's a couple of rules that we want to get to. The first rule, forget about fat-free. What does that mean?
Absolutely. We really want to be focused on the mono and poly unsaturated
What does that mean?
fats. That means eating more of those almonds, pistachios, olive oil, avocados, those things that we've got out today. That's because it makes us feel more satisfied, which is helpful for staying satisfied longer, fuller longer, so that we don't overdo it at our next meal.
All right, so you got that? Rule number one, forget about fat-free. Next rule. Number two, public enemy number two is definitely added sugar.
Added sugar, certainly. So what we really want to be looking for is not sugar itself. We don't care about eating, dessert. We want to indulge in the right places. The problem is when we have savory sources of added sugar, like from things like tomato sauce or yogurt, or even salad dressing, which is why we've got some of this balsamic with lemon here. More important would be making your own versions that are as close to nature as possible. So what should be the first ingredient in tomato sauce?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Same thing with this yogurt and fruit. Instead of just getting that added sugar from the yogurt, add your own fruit to your yogurt.
Add your own fruit to your yogurt. Okay, good rules.
Certainly.
Next rule goes against a big trend that we've been seeing lately, and you say, don't give up the grains.
Absolutely
Everyone's
not.
carb-free these days. They're like, carbs no, carbs no, carbs no.
Exactly. I mean, gluten-free has gotten so much buzz, and the point is that what we really want to do is we want to be looking for the closest to nature version.
Now, listen, it's one thing is if you have celiac disease and you have to be gluten-free, but this is for people who just pick up the diet and say, you know what, I'm just going to be carb-free.
Exactly. We want to look for whole grains. So these are some ancient grains. This is getting a lot of buzz
recently.
Let's
talk about it.
We've got teff, sorghum,
what
quinoa.
The heck is
teff is delicious.
How do I, is that like rice?
It's very ancient. It's a little bit like rice. It's a little bit more like quinoa, but it's even more fine.
Okay, what's red quinoa?
Red quinoa.
Okay. What's ancient grain oatmeal? What is that different than?
Ancient grain oatmeal. So this is great. This is another great example of something that is a cereal without any added sugar.
And what is that other thing with an S? Something
sorghum?
Grain. Sorghum. Never heard of it.
Delicious in salads, summer salads instead of quinoa.
All right, we'll try a couple of these grains and put them into our diets. Next one, you say know the difference between satisfied and being full.
Yes, big difference between being satisfied and being full, right? Sometimes we just feel like we've stuffed ourselves belly, but we're not actually satisfied, so we keep going.
All right, so these are things you need to have.
Exactly. The way to do this is to make sure that we're always having a combination of protein and fiber with snacks and meals. So this is a great example here of what we'd want to look for in snacks. These are some of my favorites from Kind Bar and Cliff. We do want to be making sure that it's going to be at least 3 grams of protein and at least 3 grams of fiber per serving.
All right, fantastic. And I got to say, since the last time you visited, I keep this peanut butter in my purse, and
delicious,
it keeps,
right?
Yeah, it gets you through those little moments.
Exactly.
With a little bit of apple, it's really good. Finally, the Mediterranean diet has been very popular, but now there's Nordic new Mediterranean diet. That's what I want to say. Sorry, I'm kind of sick and dealing with it. So deal with me. What's next?
Well, one thing that is for sure is that the Vikings are having a moment, and that is definitely happening here in terms of nutrition. So the Mediterranean diet is basically just loading up on those plant-based foods, plant-based proteins, as well as fish. We've got some omega-3s here. This is the same thing with the Nordic diet. We want to make sure we're eating tons of colorful local fruits, veggies. And here we've got some cauliflower, and some of these root veggies are very popular in the Nordic region. We've also got
so don't they eat herring and all that? Instead of like salmon, they eat herring.
Yeah,
elk.
We've also got Arctic char is another good example. But we've got some salmon here because we couldn't get any char today.
Yeah.
The other good thing is that we do have some. This is a great one. This is canola oil. It's the lowest in saturated fat. We've also got some skyr, which is the Icelandic version of basically our Greek yogurt. Very similar. And of course, just because we're going to start seeing a lot of these products, this is some water as well from Iceland.
Who knew? Never saw that Icelandic water, but I'll be drinking a lot of it because I'd like to be blonde one day. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Jackie London, thank you so much. Always keeping us so up to date about what we need for our bodies, a healthy body, healthy mind. Of course, for more information on these new dieting rules, go to our website, pix11.com, and click on the Scene on Pix Plus tab. Time right now is 7:20, Corey.
All right. Well, there is a lot of drama that goes along with being a teenager, and parenting experts say that 13